Aloha and great day to everyone. Happy Wednesday here on Blossom with Lotus YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, if you just coming across me today, my name is Lotus Dawn, and I offer true to the stars astrological updates based on the current sky. And that is different from Western or mainstream tropical astrology, which is based on where the stars were 2,000 years ago and is no longer accurate to what is actually happening in the sky. So if you've never heard that before, I have some other videos that dive deeper into explaining this. It is due to something called precession of the equinoxes, which essentially says that when 2,000 years ago, Western astrology was created, they didn't factor in the fact that the star constellations are moving slightly backward in relation to us here on Earth at the rate of about 1 degree back every 72 years. And so today, the difference between the actual sky, what's happening if you had a telescope and you could look up there, and what Western astrology says is about one whole sign degree. So welcome to my channel where you are going to get up to date, clear, true to the star updates, what's actually happening in the sky. And so I want to just share screen with you all, and let's dive into what is happening. Aloha and great day to So we're just going to look at stellarium. And if you're new to astrology, or you'd like to learn more about what's happening in the actual sky, I really recommend getting stellarium. It's free. You can get it online, and it will show you the star constellations, so Gemini, Aries, and it will show you what planets are in each constellation. And so today, on Wednesday is named after the planet Mercury, or associated with the planet Mercury. So Wednesdays are a really good day for all Mercury related things. So Mercury is the planet of communication. It is the planet of short trips. It is the planet of networking, marketing. Of course, in Greek mythology, Mercury represented the god who had wings on his shoes. And so he would deliver all the messages between all of the gods. He was a little bit like a postal service delivery god, right? And so Mercury is a very interesting day, because Mercury is always in motion. It's always communicating. So you might find yourself on the phone a lot, or you might find yourself taking lots of little short trips, right? Doing errands. There's a lot of movement on Wednesdays because it's ruled by the planet Mercury. And so I thought today would be a really cool day to dive deeper into what's happening with Mercury. So to start things off, I just want to share that the sun, mainstream Western astrology says the sun is in Leo right now. But I just wanted to show you that in True the Stars, sidereal astrology, which is what I share with you all, the sun is actually in Cancer. And so the sun will be in Cancer until August 10th, which means that this upcoming new moon, which is happening on Sunday, August 4th, is going to also be in Cancer. And so what is Cancer about? So Cancer is very interesting. It is the symbol, of course, being the crab and the turtle. And Cancer really has a deep love for home and family, for safety, for security. They tend to be more shy. They tend to be, tend to keep to themselves more unless they're at home or with their family. And so this can be a time of the year where we feel more private. We just feel more internal. We feel more like staying in our PJs all day and reading a good book, watching a good movie, going out to dinner with our friends or our family. Cancer relates to nourishment. So it's a really good time to nourish yourself, whatever way really you love, whether that's through food or through, a cozy retreat that you go on in a nice house. So Cancer can relate to home, to family, to retreat, to comfort, to nourishment. And so it is a pretty internal time of the year. And so it's very interesting because Mercury, however, the planet of communication, and Venus, the goddess of love, the divine feminine energy, are over here in Leo. And Leo, of course, the lion, is very, very different energy from Cancer, right? It's out external, it's fiery, it's impulsive to some degree. It likes to shine, it likes to be seen and to express itself. And so when Mercury is in Leo, right, the planetary ruler, every sign has a planetary ruler. So Mercury is ruled by a planet, Venus is ruled by a planet, the sun is connected to a planet. So the sun rules Leo. And so Mercury ruled by the sun, it likes to shine. Now, to figure out more about how Leo is expressing itself and how we might be experiencing Mercury in Leo, we look to the sun and we see what sign the sun is in. And the sun is in Cancer. Okay. And so what that means is that as much as we're feeling external and wanting to shine and express ourselves with with Mercury in Leo, the fact that it's the sun that rules Leo is in Cancer means that as much as we feel like being external or outward or, really tapped in that way, we may also feel mm, a bit private, a bit more like wanting to stay comfortable, right? So even if you're out on that journey, you're a performer, you're a singer, you like to express yourself in that way, you may find yourself feeling a bit more private. Maybe you are performing or expressing, but maybe you're doing it around your family or you're doing it around like I always think of Cancer energy as being, that loves the home, loves the family, loves being private. I always think of it as like the den. It's like the home, the hearth, the family. Cancer's all about the den. And so you might find yourself being very expressive when you're in a situation where you feel very comfortable. But when it comes to making these big leaps or going, very high and expressing yourself on that level, you might feel a little bit more held back. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart of the day. And I teach True the Stars astrology as well. So if you're someone who is loving this information and you're wanting to go deeper, I will be leading another masterclass in the next month. If you're someone who wants to learn how to read charts for yourself or you want to read charts for other people, it's an incredible business opportunity because doing what you love, assisting people with connecting to their purpose, and having this skill that you can use for the rest of your life, assisting people and assisting yourself to know what's happening energetically in the day, to know how it's affecting other people. And I apologize for this lighting. The sun is very, very vibrant today. Maybe it's all that Mercury in Leo vibe. I'm just trying to see how you can see me a little bit better in the light. Maybe this will help. Okay, well, we'll just bear with all this beautiful light from the sun. Okay, so I'm going to share screen with you and we're going to look at the chart of the day. And I'm going to share with you, and if you've never really worked with looking at a chart and you're not quite sure what it means, that's okay. We're going to just dive into a little brief mini lesson here. So what we're seeing is a map of the sky. We're seeing these are the outer rim are all the constellations, which are a little bit like a circle or a band that go around the Earth. And in the center here, we're seeing all the planets and we're seeing what constellational sign the planets are in. Okay, and so we have this middle line through the center, and this middle line denotes the horizon line. Okay, so if you want to come and imagine, okay, if I stand on that horizon line and I look up, these would be all of the planets in the signs that they're in that I can see. The left side is the eastern horizon, and the west side is the the right side is the western horizon. And then underneath that horizon line are all the planets and the constellations that they are in that you cannot see, that are underground. Okay, and just like yesterday, most of the planets are actually above that horizon line. And so what that tells us is that today is a very active external day. You're going to get a lot done. You're going to talk to a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of energy. And so one interesting thing to note, if you live in the United States, if you are in America, or you are on a similar latitude, longitude line of the United States, then this chart will hold current for you. If you live in a different country, you're at a very different latitude or longitude, this chart will look different. The planets will be in different houses. But if you're in the United States today, the top of the chart, the midheaven, is at 18 degrees of Taurus. I love the midheaven, which is the top part of the chart. It tells us the highest focus of the day. It tells us sort of the overriding star of the Christmas tree, like the big main focus of the day. Okay. And so we have Jupiter conjunct the midheaven, and that's really powerful. Wow, some energy clearing happening there. The midheaven represents the star of the day, and we have Jupiter still conjunct that midheaven. Jupiter is the millionaire planet. It's the planet of opportunity. It's the planet of benefactors. And so it's in Taurus, which is earth, which is stability, which is big wealth. And it's very, very close to some other wealth activating stars, which I will save for a later date. And then we have Mars and Uranus, and the moon's still in Taurus, just a little bit away. And so we have a huge emphasis around wealth and abundance and material safety and security today. Okay. And so you might be feeling really passionate, really inspired about building up your legacy, building your foundation, building the security and stability of your life. You might be attracting in miracles of abundance, prosperity, gifts, all kinds of really wonderful things might come in today. So today's a very lucky, very fortunate day. At the same time, we have Mars also conjunct the midheaven. So interestingly, Mars can be conflict, it can be aggression, it can also be a lot of energy. It can be physical energy, it can be taking action. You might kind of come to this fork in the road where you're like, that's it. I have to take action in this area of my life. Okay. And then we have Uranus conjunct Mars, and Uranus, and this is going to be happening for at least a couple more, like a week or so. And so Uranus is action, it's unexpected happenings, it's change. So I do have to caution you, because Mars is action and Uranus is action, and the two of them together can be taking like spontaneous action. To be wise about what action you take, because whenever Uranus gets involved, we tend to just like act before we think, like, that's it, I got to do this thing, right? I've got to take this action, I've got to go forwards. And as awesome as that can be, and sometimes incredibly necessary, at times it's better to slow down, wait for this aspect to pass, which will be in about a week, and then reassess, okay, do I still need to take this action? And one of the ways that you can dive deeper on how these planets are affecting you personally is to, one, either know your astrological chart, know where you have these things located in your chart, or do a one-on-one session with me or another True the Stars astrologer to see where these planets of the day, of the month, or if you're trying to look at a specific time or date, are affecting you personally. And that's really, really powerful. And that's when you really get the juice from what astrology can really offer you. Okay. So the second thing I want to key in and talk about today is the fact that we want to look at Mercury, because Mercury is currently conjunct Venus, which is the goddess of love. Venus is in Leo, which is it's shining, right? Venus is woman. And I find it really interesting that the presidential nominee became elected as the nominee at the same time that Venus had just gone into Leo. And Venus is woman and Leo is leadership. It's also like king or queen, like being the president would be a Leo type energy. And so very interesting to have a woman being nominated to be the president, potentially to be the candidate to run for presidency. and whatever your political views, I know I have my own very deeply held political views, and I don't, whatever they may be, leaving all that aside, it's interesting. It's interesting how the astrology can line up and show us these things in action. Now, what's really interesting today is that we have this polarity or opposition between Mercury and Saturn kicking in. And so Saturn is discipline, Saturn is structure, Mercury is communication. Saturn can be restrictive. Saturn can be like, you need to do this, this, and this before you can be successful. Saturn is reality. Okay. Mercury in Leo is saying we want to share our story, we want to express ourselves, we want to shine, we want to be the center, we want to really, step into our childlike wonder and joy. Saturn is restriction and it's discipline. It's like the wise elder. It's like grandpa. And so we have the grandpa energy. We have the energy of discipline and hard work in Aquarius, all about freedom, all about the new age, all about technology, right? Technology, all about the brothers and sisters of humanity. It's a sign that talks about everyone, thinking about everyone's well-being. It can be clinical, it can be non-emotional, but it cares about the well-being of all. While Mercury is in Leo is all about the needs of the one. You think the Leo's ruled by the sun. The symbol for the sun is a circle with a dot in it, and it represents the one, right? The focus being on yourself, right? It can be very self-focused. Whereas Aquarius energy is very other focused. It's very much community focused. And so Saturn in Aquarius represents the structure and discipline needed to create a thriving community, needed to create a new age future, needed to create a business that like a new age business, right? Saturn in Aquarius could be a new age business. It could be a vision for humanity and making it into a business, making it work, making it have structure and discipline and form. So one vision I've had of Saturn in Aquarius, which we have this whole year, is that a lot of new age communities are going to sprout up, right? The foundations, the structures, the earthy, like solid, real alternative communities are going to sprout up because Aquarius is the new age. It can also mean a lot of new age businesses because Saturn is structure. Okay, so we have Saturn opposing Mercury today. This could be really learning how to discipline our desire to express our hearts. Leo is the heart, Mercury is communication, with the discipline of how does this serve the community? How does this serve the many? How does this serve the future? Because Aquarius is very future oriented, whereas Leo is very present oriented. So Mercury in Leo is like, I want to be happy now. I want to express myself now. I want to be joyful now. Whereas Saturn Aquarius is saying, okay, well, how can you be joyful now in a way that will create a future that supports the many and that will allow you to build, Saturn, a solid foundation for the community? So we really are being asked to expand our awareness for the future today. We're really being asked to include our drive for personal freedom, personal expression, personal shining with the needs of the many, right? With allowing our shine, our blessing, our gift of being the beauty that we are, to be a gift for humanity, to be a gift for the collective, to support others on the path. Okay, so one way you might do this is you might create, let's say, you're thinking for the future, you're thinking how you can be of service to the many, and you're a performer, you're an artist, you're a speaker, you give gifts where you're the center, right? So you might be like, wow, I really want to take my gifts and bring them to a larger audience and support the future, the generations of the future. Maybe I should create an event where I bring together great musicians and performers, community, and we do a benefit show and we raise money for a charity. We raise money for a collective. We raise money for the greater good. Yeah. And so it's like learning today, thinking about how to communicate in a way that acknowledges and affirms our gifts, our beauty, our light, and at the same time is in service to the collective, is in service to others, is in service to um, lifting the world up. Right? So leave a comment below. Share with me what you thought of today's reading. Share with me if any of those things have hit home. Let me know if you would like a one-to-one reading. You can find my services at blossomwithlotus.com. I just love connecting with you. I love sharing from my heart the information from the stars because it's always so profound, so on point, so true to the moment. And I just really appreciate all of you for your love, for your support, and for your energy. You're beautiful, and I wish you all an absolutely beautiful day. If you have not followed me on Facebook, I highly recommend you do so, as I give out a lot of content there as well. I do a lot of lives. I also have a free 5-day challenge group. So if you'd like to join that group, leave a comment below. I'll send you the link. And I will be teaching another True the Stars masterclass coming up in the next month or so. So if you're really into what I've been sharing and you'd like to go deeper and train with me, I would love to have you. So leave a comment below. And I send you love from the sun that's wanting to just fill up this whole reading and having a beautiful